Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening to be fought over three-minute rounds under amateur mixed martial arts rules in the middleweight division is also a #1 contendership spot contest. So introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he enters the cage with a record of 1 victory, 3 defeats, representing MMA Varna. Please welcome Nikolata Zlatev. His opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the cage with a record of 6 victories, no defeats, representing FCPC. Please welcome Kyran Sturrock. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Paul Crossley.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is an amateur middleweight competition set to determine our new #1 contender for the amateur middleweight championship. In the blue corner, Nikolata Zlatev, representing the MMA Varna, in the pink, blue, and yellow camo shorts as he takes on Kyran Sturrock, representing the Full Contact Performance Center in the black and orange RDX.
Yeah, winner of this contest gets a shot at the FCC amateur middleweight title. So a lot to play for here.
Of course, that title being decided later tonight, so they'll know who their next opponent's going to be here at FCC.
Yeah, so you're going to wonder, those guys warming up right now, or they're taking a little peep over the balcony here to see what they're potentially going to be up against next year.
Kyran Sturrock pressuring his man up against the cage.
Bit of a mixed record for Zlatev, but he's got a bit of international competition. He's flown in tonight to face Sturrock, who's had a lot of issues with opponents pulling out. Not many people wanting to fight this kid, Steve.
No, it's 6-0 record, and you got to think it's probably not going to be too long before we're looking at a pro debut in the future. Maybe a couple of amateur titles first. Yeah,
potentially, and then maybe the FCC amateur middleweight title first if he can get a victory here tonight and go on to challenge one of our 2 title contenders early next year. Good job thus far, though, from Zlatev.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of staying in close and grappling, he's holding his own. He's keeping the man's back, but can't keep him down.
No, certainly no pushover, and it just goes to show sometimes these records can be very deceiving in terms of you'd expect a 6-0 guys to be absolutely steamrolling a guy who's just 1-3, but that's really not what we're seeing here in the early offing.
No, absolutely not. And Nikolata Zlatev was looking for the takedown there, got it, but then got rolled beautifully by Kyran Sturrock.
Sturrock's got had the Kimura grip in there. Good job to affect a change of fortunes here. He's looking to step over the
north and south. There's the is this going to be just a matter of time, or?
Well, it could be. Zlatev's having trouble connecting the hands there, which is what he needs to do to start with. But how calm does Kyran Sturrock look?
Oh, absolutely. Might as well be waiting for boss as he chops away at the body.
Looking to spin round. There's an armbar potentially here for him as well if he rolls through.
Oh,
still got that Kimura grip. He can switch it to a straight armbar from this position. He's just looking to break the hands of Zlatev here.
Is this all defense from Zlatev here? Is that all he's thinking about?
Absolutely. He's potentially seconds away from getting that arm either stretched out or wrenched up behind his back. Still again. 2 options in play for Sturrock here.
10 seconds left. No, he's going to wait and see this round. I thought he was going to.
He was actually kneeling briefly on the hand of Sturrock there, so he's in a good position here. He was fully stacked up, and there was no immediate danger, but it was one of those situations whereby it changes at the click of the fingers.
And then just at the end of the round at the horn, just rolled the man through to show you I can still do that before he gets off and walks to the corner. Martin Stapleton there giving him some advice. You just say more of the same, please.
Yeah, absolutely. More importantly than anything else, Sturrock looked very, very calm in there. He didn't look like he was in any hurry to get this guy out of there or any hurry to make any rash decisions and potentially give an experienced opponent an easy entry to something. Look, here's the thing. We know he's got a bit of a messy record, but what else do we really know about Nikolata Zlatev? You know, we know he's flown in from a different country tonight. You don't want to sleep on these guys.
Absolutely not.
You know, it says something about the level of Kyran Sturrock when FCC are having the fly-in guys to fight him.
Well, yeah.
And I'm sure the guys at FCPC would want this kind of an opponent. One that's going to test their guy, one that's going to maybe put a couple of rounds on his record, rather than the guy who's going to go down with the first shot or tap at the first sense of danger.
Yeah, absolutely, and you get the sense just straight away that Zlatev is not here to lie down.
Absolutely not. You know, a win here means another trip back to the University of Bolton Stadium early next year, and a chance to fight for a title. Chance to fight for an FCC title is, you know, maybe something which sets him on an interesting path in his career.
Absolutely.
Nice combination there.
It's swinging a little bit though.
He needs to not look directly at the floor when he's throwing those combinations. He needs to keep his eye on his opponent. Last thing you want to do is be closing the eyes. Ah, and there's a nice left hand. He's doing a good job of looking down at his opponent's feet there. That kind of keeps the opponent guessing in terms of where the next shot's going to come from. What he doesn't want to be doing is closing his eyes and putting his head right down when he's moving forward, because you know, you're going to leave yourself open to a big uppercut there, or potentially a shot right behind the ear. Sturrock looking to come forward with some strikes of his own now.
Yeah, but he's very patient, not rushing. Almost counter-strike. He's waiting for Zlatev to throw something, and then he's going to counter it. Pawing at that.
Nice straight left hand from the southpaw there. That's the weapon to look out for.
Again, they're measuring each other.
Nice kick across the body as well. And it looks like that southpaw stance is what's giving Zlatev a little bit of cause for concern on the feet. He's still trying to steam in though, gets caught with the straight right there.
Spinning back fist attempt, just keep Sturrock honest, I think.
Yeah, he's clearly got a few tricks up his sleeve. It's 3 3-minute rounds to play with here, so he will have to do something fairly soon. Pretty even round thus far.
Yeah, for the most part, Sturrock seems to be controlling where the fight takes place, what the distance is again. He seems to be setting the tempo and the beat of the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And still looking very, very calm in there. Not looking like he's too concerned about the outcome thus far, but, you know, giving every respect to his opponent at the same time. He's certainly not, you know, walking in there with his hands around his waist and goading his man on. He's aware of the threat that potentially faces him in the form of Nikolata Zlatev.
Walking his man down, he's done that well in both rounds. As Sturrock has walked his man's back to it, so his back is to the cage. His little left hand down the middle.
Yeah, good stuff from Sturrock again in the second round there. You know, a lot more of a striking-based round than the first, rather, which, you know, most of the good stuff took place on the mat. You know, you hate to make the comparison because it's almost a cliche these days, but how many guys are we seeing now, especially southpaws, coming in with that nice low, wide stance, looking to pop that big left hand off. It works.
Oh yeah,
it works. They're doing it for a reason. You know, Martin Stapleton is a guy who spent a lot of time over the past sort of 5 years or so training with SBG affiliated gyms, and I think we saw a big change in his style of stand-up striking over that time as well. So it's obviously something he's felt he's been able to adapt for his own use in the cage. And you know, in the past kind of few years where he's been running the FCPC team, we've seen it seep into some of their style as well. And it's obviously something they've been able to combine into their MMA style, and it's working. So, you know, don't change your winning formula, perhaps.
Kyran Sturrock, again, looks like he's just coming out for the first round. He looks no different, as composed, as calm.
So does Nikolata Zlatev, though, for my money, Steve.
Absolutely.
There's that left hand going to work.
But now with 3 minutes left, you would think that it's Zlatev, perhaps, who has to do that little bit more to get the judge's eye?
Yeah, I think so. The second round was close, and it's difficult for us to judge really a cage judge, Steve, when we're doing what we're doing. But yeah, you think certainly the more confident fighter in terms of what the judges' scorecards are going to say would be Kyran Sturrock at this point.
2 minutes-ish left for Nikolata Zlatev, maybe just to pick up the pace, the urgency a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to. And, you know, he's been maybe throwing a similar number of strikes, but they've been falling a little short. They've not been as clean. You know, the shots there hitting the shoulders, for example. He has got a takedown here and scores.
And then tries to step over.
Good job from Sturrock, already trying to clear his legs from the grip of Kyran Sturrock there, of Nikolata Zlatev, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Using the wizards to get out. Wizard throw from Sturrock, beautiful stuff.
And now the positions are reversed as Sturrock is comfortably sitting inside Zlatev's half guard now. Zlatev pressed up against the cage. In his corner though, and as silly as that sounds, maybe he can get some advice here, and the joy of it is Kyran Sturrock can't understand the advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, take the little wins where you can get them. Amen. If that's what it takes. You know, Sturrock looked so cool and relaxed and calm when he effected that reversal. It was almost like he was drilling something in the gym. He just got everything right first time. And, you know, Zlatev's now gone from his best move of the fight with that takedown to, you know, being in a pretty torrid position. He didn't come out of the first round looking too good on the bottom position, and looks like he's perhaps not here. A sense of urgency now, certainly, but that can leave you up to mistakes in itself. Oh, going for the knee bar.
Rolled through though, and now Sturrock, side control. I love the composure from this kid.
Yeah, very, very cool, calm and collected. You know, he's not had to deal with a huge amount of adversity. It's not been a one-sided fight by any stretch, but you know, there hasn't really been a lot of fight-ending threat coming his way. No. Oh, nice punches from Sturrock here on top.
There's Zlatev kicks him. Oh, another big shot.
Raining down shots from this top position. Final 10 seconds, and Sturrock looking for a big finish here.
Yeah, looking to try and put an exclamation point on the end of this fight, but you know, a very good performance from Sturrock. This is a guy that his patience could be one of the best assets he has. He doesn't allow himself to get into silly positions from being overconfident or overstretching. Just a dominant, nice performance there. Absolutely, and that, you know, patience really is a virtue in mixed martial arts. It'll certainly be a virtue when he starts going into the pro ranks or the amateur title fights, which are a little bit longer. You know, potentially looking at 5 3-minute rounds for an amateur title. So, you know, that could certainly be something which helps him out as he moves forward with his career. A solid performance tonight. I expect it'll go his way on the judges' scorecards, and that we'll next see him on the FCC cage challenging for the middleweight title. Well, our MC, Mr. Jonathan Miller, is going to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards, where the unanimous decision, your winner in the